Hello and welcome to another episode of Member Spotlight, where we explore the stories, experience, and leadership journey of our Toastmaster members. I'm your host Lyubov, and today I'm delighted to welcome Martina, the current president of Chamber Toastmaster Club. And one of the unique aspects of Toastmaster is that it offers members opportunity to develop professional skills through volunteer roles. Case in point, the Vice President Education role closely resembles that of maybe project manager, coordinated educational goal, timelines, and member development. Similar, the Vice President membership role develop skills often associated with human resources, such recruitment, onboarding, engagement, and relationship building. And finally, the role of club president can be viewed as a team leader, bring together different personalities, align goals, and guiding the club toward success. And Martina has experienced all three of these leadership roles. And today we will explore what she discovered about herself along the way. Martina, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And so let's dive right in. And before becoming president, you served as a vice president education, a role that many compare to a project manager because it involves planning, coordinating, and supporting members' educational journey. So my question is, what personal strengths or maybe new ability did you discover while guiding members through pathway and managing the club's education program?
Explain what a pathway is for someone who does not know Toastmasters. It's a series of assignments in 5 levels that you do by speaking up, maybe a project of focusing on vocal variety. You speak up for 5 to 7 minutes about something and you gather feedback for that. This is how we learn, we gather feedback for that, and how we develop our communication skills. What I learned in this position in regard of pathways, this project, is to communicate clearly the change. Because for me, when I started to be a project manager, I wanted to do some changes. For example, create the agenda automated, like in a project Easy Speak. We were not used to do that in a club. And how to communicate to the club members? I took this assignment and I spoke about that. And this way, when I was doing some change, I spoke up about that, informed the members, and I got this confidence about communicating the changes that I was doing. And it seems that people understood it, took it, and it was very smooth transition. That's what I learned. In regard of other people, I learned the kind of personalization of assignments, like how to personalize this structure of this 5 levels projects. So I started by myself because I wanted to lead by example. So I was doing progress on my leadership skills. Then I was communicating these leadership processes via these projects. So that's how I personalized. I took a project for leadership when I needed it and the project I wanted. Not because it was in such and such level or just because I needed to do it. And this approach I try to translate to new members as well. Like, okay, what do you want to develop now? Just like now you have this problem, so you want to focus on your vocal varieties, like because you speak very low voice. So take up this assignment for how to use your voice. Then you get the feedback and maybe what do you like? You can talk about this and that. So this is kind of personalization of these assignments that sometimes people don't know how to start with. And I think that's quite important. And thanks to all of these inputs from members, I was able to develop a new skill. We call it orchestrate the meeting agenda. It's kind of like orchestrating the music, just to put up the roles for like people, mix up the levels and speeches, choose the topic based on how do you feel might be more exciting and engaging for the online audience. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you for sharing it. It's really interesting and good example how leadership skill can change during these volunteer roles and we serve as a vice president education, or better to say project manager. As a vice president membership, as I mentioned before, and now you hold both this role in our club. And how did you learn about yourself regarding networking, communication, and building a welcoming club culture?
You're basically in a darkness. You don't see faces, you don't hear voices. Maybe sometimes you see someone logged in and what to do. So I had to develop some kind of active approach, and I started to think about consistently checking for example, new people joining a chat group. That's something that maybe can be overlooked, but I saw, okay, now a person joined, but there is no activity from this person. So I welcome that person in the chat. Sometimes I send them messages and I was checking everyone who joined. Sometimes it was misunderstanding. Sometimes they were looking for similar thing, but in person. So then I could direct them, or sometimes they just wanted to see the meeting. So this way I kind of discovered this ability to actively approach people, even if I don't see them, or just to kind of look for them in the digital space. And also I discovered that I don't want to be kind of pushy salesperson, because this is also kind of a sales position. You sell your club and then to attract new members. And I don't feel good with that position. So I prefer to kind of be more informative and to create a link. It's like, if that person comes, okay, I create a link of the connection. Like, I'm here, you're welcome, and you can contact me if you want. But still, I think it's something that they should want, because self-development is a voluntary activity of each of us, and it's on our own time, energy, and everything, resources that we have. So it's for us to decide when we want to start. And if there is some person in kind of HR position that makes it a little bit easier, then I think that's worthy. So that's what I learned.
That's wonderful insights, building links between new member and club, show what they can engage, what they can develop, and so on, and creating a sense of belonging and essential leadership skills in any organization, after all. And today you serve as a club president. A role can be compared with to a team leader, like bring together different officers, coordinated efforts, and ensure it, and everyone is working toward a common vision. So how do you think, how has this role further evolved your leadership style compared to your previous experience as a project manager and human resources?
Different. Start to do leadership roles, or in your pathway, these projects, you have this test that you can check what style you have. I did it twice, and twice I had this combination of like democratic style, altruistic, and coaching. It was mixed up, but I think for project manager role, which was a vice president of education, I mostly focused on the coaching one, because that's where I was directly working with members, education like pathways, and trying to steer the momentum, like what do they need versus what kind of roles they can take, and how these challenges can be just right enough for them at the stage that they are. So it's not like too much, it's not too less, and that steers a little bit of this excitement of the meeting. In HR role, I think I focused more on this like altruistics, like what asking by what people actually want. And then trying to approach them that way. It's like, okay, you want this and online speaking club is perfect for you, or you just want in person, then I'm not going to offer you online club, right? And the last one, the team leader, is more about not doing things, but trying to delegate them. And that's very different perspective. And still I don't want to be the one who decides like, okay, now we are going to do this and then have unhappy leaders. So I more look at it as a collaboration of all of us and asking for feedback, for some ideas and consultation, because that's how I might have another viewpoint. And if, for example, I have a viewpoint that no, and 2-3 people says yes, and they give me reasons why, then I might change my point of view, and that's something that might enrich me. Therefore, that's the democratic style. Like, I ask for opinions. I want all of us to have the same direction of where we go. So that are the differences between the roles for me.
It's inspiring to hear how each different leadership role has revealed a different aspects of your strengths and help shape your leadership journey. And Martina, thank you for joining us and sharing your experience with us today and your journey through Vice President Education, Vice President Membership, and now as a President, demonstrate how Toastmasters provides a real practical leadership laboratory where members can develop real world skills in project management, people engagement, and team leader. And for anyone considering taking on a club officer's role, your story is a great reminder that leadership is not something we are born with. It's something we can develop through serving, learning, and experience. And thank you, our listeners, for tuning into another episode, Members Spotlight. And until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and keep growing. Thank you, and see you next time.
Thank you.